What's up, guys? Welcome to 31 Vision Podcast. If this is your first time watching, welcome. Thanks for watching. So we have 3 segments, right? So today we're doing Q&A. So that's where we answer 5 questions that apply to athletes or parents or both, right? The second one is 31 cents. So 31 cents is when we give our 2 cents on one specific topic. Our first episode, check it out. We spoke about should trans women participate in women's sports. That's a hot topic right now. And then last but not least, we have like the standard interview, which you've seen in other podcasts where you chop it up for about an hour about the person's story or, whatever you want to talk about. Make sure the information is below. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow. And if you have any constructive criticism or if you just want to support, just definitely reach out. Now we got that out the way. Why don't you introduce yourself, brother?
Okay. Hey, hello, everyone. My name is Coach Keyon. Most people know me as Coach Key. Pull the rope, real coaching. I work with a lot of kids in the community, dealing with youth kids more than high school kids. Football coach, flag football, basketball, just, physical fitness, training. So I do a lot of things with kids with sports.
Nice, man. Nice. And don't let him underplay what he does for the community too, guys. Definitely check out Pull the Rope. Definitely check out Real Coaching. He does a lot, guys. He does a lot. So definitely reach out. So Q&A, man. So let's dive into these 5 questions.
Let's do it.
All right. So first question. What are some of the challenges in coaching youth football, like you just mentioned, compared to other age levels, other age groups?
Okay. So I think that one of the biggest challenge from coaching youth football to, let's say, high school, is the parents. When you're coaching youth football, the parents have to be more involved. That can be a curse and a blessing.
For sure.
The biggest thing is knowing that the kid will be on time all the time, because if you have a good parent that is on top of their stuff, know what they want to do, the parent's going to make sure that the kid is on time for practice, going to be on time for games. But if you have a parent that is not on top of their things, you got to send out a lot of friendly reminders like, hey, please make sure that you're here on time. Make sure that the game time is at this time. I need you here. And sometimes you don't have good parents where now the coach have to do all the legwork where you have to pick the kid up, take them home, make sure the kid is fed. So it can go both ways.
That part is way too common.
I know. In today's world. I agree.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
It's fine. So, and in high school, it's really more kids are more independent, so you don't have to worry. It's the kid fault, to make sure that they're on practice on time, make sure that they show up to games on time. And so you don't really have to worry about the parental support because it's really up to the kid. In collegiate, same thing,
If you don't know by then.
I agree.
Yeah, man. One of the biggest things that I see is I think parents. So I think being a trainer myself, it's hard to find the line between where a coach, how do I say this? Like a parent can do anything they want, right? As far as the kid.
Yes.
But at what point does the coach step in and be like, hey, you're being a bad parent? It's like, you're flirting with a line.
It's very sensitive.
Yeah. So at what point are you like, hey, you're hurting the team, but and you're kind of saying in like a nicer way, hey, be more organized, be on top of your shit. Like bring the kid to practice on time.
Right.
You know
I agree.
And then as a trainer, sometimes you see stuff that you don't agree with, but you can't tell someone how to raise their kids.
I agree.
So I think with youth football or youth sports in general, like you're constantly finding that gray area to be a good coach. But sometimes good coaches is you instill good values.
I agree.
You set the example.
I agree.
But what if that goes against what the parent does?
I agree. I completely agree.
So I understand where you're coming from with, those conflicting ideologies. It's like, what do you do?
It's tough.
They put you in a tough spot.
It's tough.
Oh man. So with youth football, bro, like, so how do you deal with a parent that you might not see eye to eye with? Like, how do you handle that?
So a parent that I don't see eye to eye with, it's like a marriage, So sometimes you're not going to see eye to eye to them, but how can we make this work for your kid? So I know you want this, I know you want that, but what's the best interest for your kid? So it could be examples of, I want my son to play quarterback, and my son should be the starting quarterback coach. And how come my son isn't the starting quarterback? Okay, Dad, well, what do your son want? Have you ever asked him, what does he want to be?
Huge.
Maybe he just wants to play football, So let's teach him football, and let's just make sure that he has a great experience, Because some parents, they want things for them kids where the kid don't even want it. The kid just want to have fun.
Yep.
And I think just having a conversation with the parent,
I think that's a huge one because a lot of times parents live through their kids and they push, but kids, although you have to mold them and tell them what to do for the most part, you can still, like you said, you hit it on the head. Ask them questions, bro. Like, do you want to play this? Do you want to play an instrument? Do you want to act? Do you want to, like, sometimes they don't even want to play sports. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the parents like, no, I didn't make it. I made it to college or high school, but you got to do this and you'll be better than me. What if they don't even want to do it, bro?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I think in youth sports is crucial to have a good experience, make friends, have fun, you know, and if you win championships along the way, great.
I agree.
Man, like, I think a lot of people lose sight of that.
I agree. And I just think that for youth sports, I think the biggest thing as a coach is making sure that the kid has a great experience. You know, winning, it comes a dime in a dozen. You know, I mean, we went to high school.
Yeah.
We know a lot of guys that won football games, won state championships. Now you look back at them, what are they doing with their lives? I mean, they didn't make it to the NFL.
Facts.
They don't have a great job. They're not with their family. They're just out, just going with the wind. You know, so I think that as a youth football coach, youth sports coach, our job is to make sure that the kids have a great experience so they can look back and say, you know what? I had fun.
Yeah.
I was impacted by this.
Yeah.
I met friends. I learned how to work hard.
Yeah.
I learned integrity. You know, so I think that's the biggest thing, not just winning a football or a basketball game.
And then those values, like you said, like how we were talking about earlier, how the ideology of a good coach, how that clashes with a parent. If you're a parent watching, right, and you have a good coach on your hands and you guys are butting heads, you should kind of reflect on how you're going about being a parent. You know, I'm not trying to judge parents, but
I agree.
We see a lot of bad parents. It is what it is.
I completely agree.
You know,
I completely agree.
And that's why it clashes, because the kids in the middle, you're trying to do something good, and if the parents in the way, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like we said, it's that gray area, man. It's tough. It's tough.
I agree.
So speaking of parents, this is a perfect segue to question number 2. So what is your opinion on quote unquote daddy ball?
Okay, so daddy ball. I get this a lot, you know, and probably that's why one of the reasons why I've never really coached my son. I stayed away because I know it's hard. You know, it's very hard. Even me training my son, sometimes when I train my son with other group of kids, it's hard for me to focus on the others because I'm paying attention to my son. I have to snap out of it. So daddy ball is really just trying to put your child in more in a situation to succeed than other kids. Yeah. And I feel like when you're coaching, it shouldn't be about your child. It should be about the program.
100%. And we actually did a post that blew up the internet for like a day or two, and it was about daddy ball. And it was, in my mind, it was such an innocent post. It was like any other post you ever put. Boy, did that hit a nerve. Did that hit a nerve with there were so many dads and parents that commented, oh, if we're putting in money to do this, then they can find another team. Like, bro, the sense of entitlement is crazy. Just because, guys, you're volunteering for something.
I agree.
Just because you're volunteering, you weren't forced. This wasn't mandatory. Just because you're volunteering time, or sometimes you donate money to do something, that's for the team. You know what I'm saying? So just because you do that, it doesn't entitle you to an automatic starting spot. You can compete for a spot. It's about winning games. But for you to say, hey, go find your own team because this spot is locked, what kind of message are you sending? You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, it's about having a good experience, instilling good values, so that applies to real life. Real life's not like that.
I agree. You have to teach the kid how to work hard.
You know, so life's one big competition.
I completely agree. My son, he started playing football at the age of 4. He's 6 now. I've never stood on the sideline when my son played a football game. Even though I'm one of the biggest coaches on the park, I never really wanted him to see that I have that type of effect where every time he played, I stood away because I wanted him to learn how to work hard for yourself.
That's big, bro.
Like, daddy's not going to give you a get out of jail free card. No, like, learn how to work, learn how to earn your position. I'm not here to save you. If the coach think that you're good enough to play, you'll play. But I'm not one of these type of dads where like, okay, I love football, so my son has to be a stud athlete. No, like, if he wants to play football, he will learn how to work hard. My biggest thing is making sure that my son is being taught the right way.
Yeah, which is another big thing about daddy ball, because with some parents, they just the ones that do the daddy ball stuff, so they just think, all right, what is the best way this can benefit my son for this football team? But when that clashes with what's best for the team, that's when it should kind of tell you that you're being a little selfish because sometimes what's best for your kid isn't what's best for the team.
I agree.
Stroking his ego right, it's not what's best for the team.
I agree.
You got to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
And what you're doing with your son is very rare.
I agree.
It's extremely rare.
I completely agree. Like this year, so I'm going to be coaching the 6th year at Kendall Boys and Girls Club, the coach. So this is going to be my first year coaching my son. But I know that my son is not a stud running back. Yeah. So I'm out here looking for kids that can play running back. I'm not one of these dads like, I already got a running back. I'm looking for offensive linemen to build over. No. I need great players. I want kids that are way better than my son. Because, again, it will teach him how to work hard.
Yeah.
So.
Competition creates greatness, bro.
I agree.
And just making someone feel comfortable, like, oh, no, you're good enough. That's dangerous.
You can't be afraid of competition.
Something that my coach came in here, Sammy, I like his ideas. So what he does is when a parent comes in and then the dad's like, oh, my son plays this, your son will have the opportunity to compete for that spot. And sometimes people have left and never came to the park because he didn't guarantee a spot for that kid. That's crazy, bro.
I completely agree.
How do you want him without even seeing him play? No. Oh, no, he'll be the quarterback. No, you got to compete for the spot.
I'm telling you, and it will really help kids. And I've learned this in college because if I would have known that in college, I think that I would be in a bigger place than I am now. Learning how to compete. I didn't know how to compete. Growing up, I was always the best linebacker. Everywhere I go, I had a starting position. I didn't have to do this and do that. But when I got to college, I left school, and I'm not afraid to say it. I left school. I left one of my colleges because I was afraid to compete. So I was a redshirt freshman. I played a couple games, made a couple plays. The guy that was in front of me was a senior. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so he's gone. Next year is my year. These guys brought in a redshirt senior in spring from another school.
Oh, shit.
So I'm in my feelings now. I'm like, you guys didn't even tell me that you was bringing in someone. So now you guys brought in another linebacker. He's going to take my place? Okay, don't worry about it. I'm leaving because you guys are not loyal to me. But I'm not even thinking that I got to compete.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not promising me anything, but I got to learn how to outwork this guy in spring and let the coaches know that I'm better than him. So I've learned, but I didn't have that growing up as a kid. No one showed me how to compete. No one showed me how to work hard. So now when I'm dealing with kids in today's world, I reflect on myself. I see how I was in college, how I was in high school, how I was in youth sports. Learning these guys, hard work pays off. Whatever you do in life, don't stop working hard because it will pay off.
I think that's well said, bro. I think we live in the day and age of instant gratification. So if you don't get it right now, it's bad. No, man. Sometimes things take time. And let me tell you, I'm sure you've seen it too. You've been around football your whole life. The studs at 6, 8, 9 years old.
They're not studs when they get older.
When they get older, the kids that sucked go D1 sometimes. Yes, you're like, that guy was a scrub. You're like, was. So you got a growth spurt, did the right things, and you just, it happens, bro. Like sometimes there's late bloomers. It happens, bro. Like it's amazing what time and a growth spurt at the right time does for an athlete.
I completely agree.
It's daddy ball is something that it's a cancer, bro. And I think part of what makes daddy ball tough is because with youth football, people volunteer their time.
Yes.
Right. And everyone's busy. Everyone has a life. I get it.
Dads.
Because it doesn't pay unless you do like maybe flag football on the off season. Like it doesn't pay like a college coach or you know what I'm saying. So people feel like, all right, if I'm putting my time into this, I deserve this.
Yes.
And that thought process is dangerous.
It's bad.
And I think they have to go with the mentality. I am volunteering my time, but I'm not demanding anything. I'm there to have front row seats to my kid's experience, and I'll stick up for him if something goes wrong. But you got to let him do his thing and grow up.
I completely agree.
And I think that what we just said is easier said than done for a lot of parents.
No, I agree. I agree.
But you want to add anything to daddy ball before we move on?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, I think we covered it, right? So question number 3.
Yes.
A lot of football players change parks every year. What are some ways coaches and commissioners can help have a better retention rate with athletes?
So in that situation, I think it's very tricky, man. Dealing with kids, because again, you're putting a kid in the situation.
Yeah.
It's different when you're in high school, college, you can transfer, you can do however you want to do it. But when you're dealing with a kid, everyone wants the best interest of the kid.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it, okay, as a parent standpoint. All right, I take my son to this park. It's not a good park. I don't feel safe here. I don't think that it's making my kid a better person. I want to move my kid. So do you stop them from moving them because they don't want to be there anymore because of these situations? Do you say, oh no, once you sign up at this park, you have to be there? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's a parent point of view. So now it's a coach point of view because me coaching. I have a kid. He's on my team. He's a stud athlete. And the parents suck. The parents are awful. The parents are making it very hard for me to be a coach. And I really don't want this kid back because it's making my program bad.
Yeah.
So do you keep the kid on the team? Do you tell the parents, okay, bring your kid back next year? Or do you just say this kid needs to find another park?
That's a great example. So I'll keep it anonymous like I always do.
Uh-huh.
So I was watching this playoff game, right? And the game was almost over, bro. A bad play happened at the end of the game. The team was going to lose. They knew they were going to lose because the game was almost over. And the mom goes across the whole field, pulls her son, makes a whole show, gets her son, takes him out of the game. There was less than a minute left in the game, bro. Just complain to the coach, complain to your son, whatever. But why did you have to get out of the stands, go across the whole field, grab your son, take him out? Why, bro? Why? For what? You know what I'm saying? And you're sending the wrong message. You know what I'm saying? It's just, so it just sucks that there's some talented kids out there, but their parents just suck.
I agree.
You know,
I completely agree.
Oh man, like just wait.
I agree.
Just wait.
I completely agree.
If you want to rip the coach, there's a time and place for that. Talk to him on the side, you know, but like to go across a field, grab him, take him out. It was cringy to watch it. I'm like, and I'm looking around like, is this really happening right now in front of me, in front of everybody?
I completely agree.
The coaches were embarrassed. The kid was super embarrassed. He was crying. I was like, I bet, bro, this is embarrassing. I was embarrassed for him. Like, for what? Like, what did you prove there? I don't get it. I don't see the benefit.
And I bet now that parent's going to change parks and go to another park now.
They already did.
And they're fishing. You get what I'm saying? And
that's not the park's fault.
I completely agree. And then that really destroys the kid when he gets older. So now he gets in high school, freshman year. They put him on a JV team. Oh, I don't want my son here because he's playing JV. I'm going to take him to another school where he can play varsity. No. Endure the process.
Yeah.
At great programs, if you're a freshman at a great program, you're not going to play varsity.
No.
You're not.
Look at Columbus. They don't play freshmen like that. It's very rare.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
You have kids waiting their turn.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Alabama.
Yeah.
Nick Saban even said it. How many freshmen go into the draft?
Mm-hmm.
How many freshmen from Alabama every year into the draft? None. It's a process.
Yeah, and building a good system, you know, because some places have a good farm system, but that requires
patience.
Yeah, bro, and people don't have it.
They don't have it.
People don't have it.
They don't have it.
And you know what parents also don't realize, because a lot of them didn't play sports, first of all, but whatever. Chemistry on a team is so crucial to help with success. If you keep changing parks, what kind of chemistry are you going to get on the team? You know, so if all these parks are just jumbling players, the best youth organizations that I've seen in other states and sometimes in Florida, they keep the team together.
I agree.
At least like a core, at least.
I agree.
And then from there, you try to fill in what you can.
I agree.
And if you keep it consistent, whether it's a consistent household, whether it's a consistent park, whether it's consistent coaches.
I completely agree.
Real coaching, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to have different coaches every year.
No,
you want to have the same family.
Of course.
And parents don't see that, bro.
But you have to work through that. So like I've learned, you know, because I had a great guy, Earl Sims, Gulliver Prep. I graduated. He was one of my coach, one of my mentor. When he was teaching me life lessons. So now as I get older, I understand the things that he's saying and I can apply them to life. You keep jumping from park to park. When you get older, are you going to jump from job to job? Oh, I don't like this job anymore, so I'm going to change my whole career and I'm going to go to another job.
Right.
Or I don't like my wife anymore.
Yeah.
So I done started a family.
Yeah.
I made kids with this woman. I married her. And because she gets on my nerves and I'm not happy anymore, I'm going to go find another wife. What are you teaching the kids?
Ooh, you're going to a whole other topic there.
But these are the things that he used to teach me. Like, what are you teaching the kids? So when things get hard, you're just going to jump ship? No. Yeah. Learn how to work through adversity. Yeah. Learn how to grind through the hard times. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, I didn't have a good season this year. Okay, next year, what can I do to have a better season? Yeah. But when things get tough, I'm not going to jump. How many kids you know in college are in the transfer portal?
Oh, my God.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? It happened to me.
Yeah, talking about Nick Saban. I bounced around too. Like Nick Saban said it, like, if I see that you bounce around in high school a lot, I don't want you.
I don't blame them. Yeah. I know guys, every year in high school, they're going to different high schools because I don't like the coach. no one is perfect. No, the world isn't perfect. There are going to always be flaws. There are going to always be conflicts. Wherever you go, no park in America is perfect. Yeah. Every park you go to, they're going to have some type of dilemmas that we just have to deal with.
And to piggyback off what you're saying, you know what's a problem too? Two things. The grass is always greener. And then someone's in your ear like, oh, no, that doesn't happen over here. Oh, no, that doesn't happen over here. No, that would never happen over here. You go to that park, the same shit or worse is happening over there in that park. So someone's in your ear like another parent, oh, no, that would, don't worry about that. There's no favoritism here. There's no daddy ball. Then you get there and it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. You can't run away from it. You can't.
Yeah, man. And it happens in every level, honestly.
I agree.
In college, high school, like people bounce around. And I do like the rule change. Because like I was telling you off air, me personally, I would have loved to have left South Miami after my sophomore year, only because, but that was my circumstances. You know, like me and the certain coaches just were not seeing eye to eye.
You're not learning. You're not growing. Back to what I said, So if it's not in your best interest, so if the kid is not learning, he's not growing.
Right.
Yes, leave. But you don't leave because the parent is unhappy.
Right.
I don't like the coach, so I'm leaving. No.
Right. 100%. And sometimes parents don't see that, especially with this very sensitive day and age. They need tough love, bro. Like you're a coach, bro. Like situation A, hey, Timmy, can you please do it like this? He's not going to listen.
He's not going to listen.
Situation B, after Timmy messes up 3 times in a row, you tell him, hey, like you snap on him.
You have
Guess what? He does it right the next time.
You have to.
And some parents misinterpret that as, oh, he hates Mike. Bro, there's no hate here. If there was hate, you wouldn't be coaching. I wouldn't be coaching.
And people don't understand that. Like, you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. Like, I don't intentionally want your child to feel bad. You get what I'm saying? Like, I love your child, but I want to, like, again, like I told you, real life scenarios, like, life is cutthroat.
Yeah.
There's no one outside of a football field or a high school or college that's going to really care about you. Mm-hmm. That's going to care if you wake up and go to work every day. How many people call you and say, hey, did you make it to work today? Hey, do you have enough money to pay your bills? Do you have enough money to take care of your family? No one cares.
Yep.
So when you're in youth sports in high school, take advantage of someone caring about you, really caring about what you're doing, how you're doing it.
Yeah. Oh, well said, bro. Well said. And then do you think, I just thought about this right now. Do you feel like this is happening more now because high school and college rules change, or you think people always bounce around from park to park even before?
People always bounce around from park to park. Just
normal.
Just normal. Just because, they're just, they think that, okay, I'm not happy. I got to go here. I got to go there.
Yeah.
It's normal. It's always happening. And kids it's really affecting kids. Look at the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Like every year kids are transferring. Well, I don't like this university, so I'm going to go to another university. Like, no, like it becomes a domino effect. And then once you get out of college, like back to what I said, now when things get hard, you don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, man. And
when your job gets hard, when your boss is tough on you and wants you to work long hours, and now you're like, I can't do this anymore. Let me go online and put another job application because I don't like this.
People want the results before putting in the work, and like you said earlier, like what you learn from sports or football, you can apply it 100% to life. And those like competing, and let's say you didn't get what you want that season, whether it's winning a championship or getting as many reps as you want, reflect. All right, I can do this better. I can do that better. I have a whole off season to work on these things, but people are so quick to blame, which also comes from the parents. Everyone's so quick to blame their environment and the people around them, but we can always go inward. All right, maybe I didn't do enough of this. Maybe I did slack at practice for conditioning these days. Or, you know what? Every time I lined up against this person, I didn't really try that hard. You know what I'm saying? And we can always go back to that, but nobody wants to really hear or see that hard truth.
I completely agree.
And that's adults too, not just kids.
Yep. I completely agree.
All right. So question number 4. So how do you feel about some of the rules in Xtreme football, AYFL, or any football leagues? And is there one league that you like more than the other in terms of like the rules and stuff like that?
So now I'm going to be coaching in the AYFL with Kendall Boys and Girls Club. Mm-hmm. I was coaching Xtreme. I know a little bit about the Pop Warner rules. I think that every league has their pros and cons. I don't think that there's no perfect league where like this league is better than that league. Like, no, everyone has their pros and cons. One league has like AYFL has when the cutoff day is May 1st. I think Pop Warner, don't quote me, it's August.
Mm-hmm.
I think Xtreme is calendar year. Florida Elite, I believe it's July 1st, I believe. So like everyone has a cutoff date where the kid can't turn a certain age.
Yeah.
So I feel like that affect other parks and other communities because like now it becomes a competition where, okay, I'm going to go over here because my son, he can play at this age group over here because of the cutoff date. So now they're looking for easy ways out.
Yep.
But I feel like if every league just have the same rules, it will cut, like we said, the park hopping.
Yep.
I want to go to this park. I want to go to that park. It will cut it. If every league just come up with the same rules, everyone speaking the same language, it will cut certain things.
And then going back to, because Sammy, he was my coach, so he's a lot older than us, and he was telling me how Pop Warner, like years ago, everyone just played Pop Warner.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
So if you won, you had to go through everybody.
Big
like,
time.
I think that would be great.
That's amazing.
If somehow we can go back to that.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And I know there's a lot of organizations coming out and people are making their own stuff, but I don't see anything wrong with like combining teams. And as long as the age group is right and the weight is right.
I agree. I completely agree. That one, football was football, man. Where you really had to play. Yeah. You really had to play. Like if you wanted to make a tackle or score a touchdown, like you really had to compete.
So how do you feel, like talking about these rules and stuff, how do you feel about like the weight stuff? Do you feel like as long as you're that age, the weight shouldn't matter? Or do you feel like it should only be bigs? Or any player can weigh anything? Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like as long as you're that age, you can play whatever you want to play. Like,
okay,
so because I'm 100 pounds and I'm a 7-year-old, I can't run the ball.
Bro, I saw a play that it really bothers me.
So
somebody forced a fumble.
Yes.
And the lineman couldn't get it and run. What is that, bro? He got a strip sack. Let the big boy run to the end zone, bro.
I completely agree. Let him finish.
Like, damn, man.
Let him finish.
That sucks, but
you get what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
I completely agree. Like, just you're enabling the child at that point. You get what I'm saying? Where like you're limiting them where they can't be the best that they can be because of, okay, it's not my fault that God gifted me where I'm 100 pounds at a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, let me embrace it.
Yeah.
Like, that's today's world.
Yeah. And what I really don't agree with is a kid weighing that much and playing up.
I completely agree because
that's
mentally,
when safety. Yeah,
mentally they're not there yet. Mentally, they're not thinking. Okay, it's because I'm 100 pounds, 7 years old. They're not thinking like a 9-year-old.
Nope.
I still want to go home and watch cartoons.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And when you play with, like, when you get a certain age groups, like, yeah, there's some dogs that and then boys, you get older, there's people that hit with with malicious intent.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Agree.
So if you're playing up a year or two, you're walking into the fire.
I completely agree.
So that's when the worst fears that parents have about, like concussions and this stuff, that's when it actually does kind of become a thing because the kid shouldn't even be there.
I agree. I agree.
So, and I learned about a rule as well. In Xtreme, I think this is so dumb. Only your center and your guards can be heavies. If your tackles are heavies, they need to be covered by a tight end. Yes. What if you have 5 heavies?
That destroyed me. I mean, that destroyed me every game. Like, I don't know.
I don't understand that. So you got to run double tight the whole game?
Exactly. I mean, that's probably the worst rule I ever heard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's for the linemen. Like, you're already halfway there. There's heavies. Bro, from tackle to tackle, let them be heavy.
Or if you're a lineman and you have a sticker on and Xtreme and you're heavy, you can't play defensive end. Like, you can't line up as a
I didn't even know that.
You have to be like inside the box.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's a lot of rules.
That's whack. That's so whack. You just blew my mind with that one too. I'm sure if I get the list of each thing, I'll probably be like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks.
But again, every league has their pros and cons.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Pop Warner, I think, don't quote me, I think 7U, 8U probably, they can't get in 3-point stands. The offensive line.
What?
You have to be in 2-point stand. I believe so.
Yeah. There's some weird rules that, like, for example, like getting out of youth football, like in the NFL, when they changed the rule that you can't make the wedges on kickoff return, I like that because people were getting hurt. Like there was a designated person to go blow up the wedge. That's bro, Pete, that's dangerous. Like they just run in there like a kamikaze missile and just boom. That's for safety.
I agree.
I get that.
I agree.
I get that.
I agree.
But then there's other rule changes where I'm like, nah, that's just to help the offense and light up the scoreboard.
I don't think I'll be able to play in the NFL. I'll get so many fines. Me as a linebacker and how I play.
The way I was taught.
I was taught.
Yeah.
I heard that. I just heard recently you can't even teach kids certain ways anymore. I taught as a linebacker to bite the ball.
Right.
You know, face mask to the ball. Now they don't want anything dealing with the face mask leading.
And then sometimes like a quarterback would throw a ball over the middle of the field, lollipops it, right?
God.
What is a linebacker or DB supposed to do?
I don't even want the interception.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do?
Man.
And I've seen, and I'm sure you have too. Because we play defense, you know, so we feel for them. Clean hits, like right here, and they throw the flag anyways because it's a bad hit. The person shouldn't have thrown the ball like that.
I agree.
Or the person is running
I agree.
They had the right angle. You throw it into the wrong coverage.
And football is a violent sport. I'm sorry. It's a violent sport.
You know, like
it's a violent sport. If you don't want to be violent, if you don't want to get hit, don't play football. It's a violent sport.
It is, man. And I think they have the right intentions with some rules, but I think sometimes the people that are, I don't even know who they are, but the people that are in charge of changing rules, I just hope they actually played football because I'm starting to feel like they didn't.
And today is, I completely understand.
I could be wrong.
And I completely understand that you want to protect the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're making them soft.
100%.
I'm sorry.
100%.
I'm sorry. I mean,
there has to be animosity.
Man, you're making them soft. I'm sorry. You're going to get hit. And life is going to destroy you. Yeah. Life is going to hit you so hard. Can you get up from that?
Yeah.
So you got to look at it in different ways like that. Like, can you get up from that? You're going to get destroyed. You're going to get hit. That's the beauty of football, by getting knocked out and getting back up and say, all right, I got you next play.
Right.
All right, next play is on me.
Yeah. Or even not even a game, right? Or not even a game. We're talking about competition, right? Competing for a spot. Someone you're competing with just knocks you on your butt one play. Then you're like, all right, I'm going to get you. That creates a great practice intensity, right? And I think I've mentioned it in other episodes. I think a lot of athletes are missing the importance of practice habits. Deion Sanders did like a whole video like a year or two ago about just that, about like practicing your craft, like going into practice with an intention, like I want to improve this today. I want to get better at this today.
I agree.
And I think a lot of kids are like, oh, I'm just a gamer.
I agree.
Bro. Like, how you gonna get better on Friday or Saturday?
You get better in practice, man.
Right.
You get better in practice.
But you as a coach, like how do you, oh man, like these athletes are surrounded by certain things, like, and we're from a different time, but we are in a specific challenge, right? Because we had MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, but we were already growing up by then. So we had the presence of mind to understand, like, this isn't real life. They don't know that.
I agree.
So how do you make them like not value this so much?
Listen, to me, it's and tough. I can only speak from my point of view, and my personal experience.
Yeah. My
son doesn't even know how to work electronics because I don't force that on him. I don't present that to him.
Yeah.
We're outside working, training, playing sports.
Yeah.
He likes those type of things, but I don't give him that. And I think it starts at an early age, you know, just giving your kids electronics. Doesn't know how to work a remote. Like when it's time for him to change, like if he's watching Netflix and he wants to watch another movie, he'll call me and say, he's 6.
Yeah.
And he'll call me and say, Dad, can you change it to another movie? Because
man,
I
hope that lasts as long as possible.
I hope so too. Because I don't allow him to work electronics, you know? Because kids at 2 years old know how to work an iPhone.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like,
they know how to go through YouTube.
How do you even know how to program that? And you can't even read.
Right. No, seriously. Like I've seen little kids, like they know how to do YouTube and do this and do that. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. And I understand, I'll play devil's advocate. I understand from a parent standpoint. I'm not a father yet myself.
Right.
If that one little electronic thing makes them sit still, I get it, bro. I get it. Because kids are like, you know, they're Energizer bunnies. But there's always a bad side to everything.
I agree.
And if they're glued and they're not even listening to you,
right,
and they're not even aware of their surroundings, that's a little too much.
I completely agree.
You know, maybe like just monitor it. You know, I
completely agree.
Have that parental blockers on.
Yes.
Earn it. You know, like get straight A's, you do this, or you know.
Yes.
But I don't know how your childhood was, but I was out. So it was school, play before school, be dirty and sweaty.
Oh my God.
And then
waiting for the bus.
Right. And then school, which you had PE in school. Then after school, if you didn't have sports, you would play again, or you would go to after school care and play more sports.
Yes. Never home.
That's what I'm saying. You're home. Maybe when the sun's down, you're home and you're tired and you know, but I feel like that culture has changed a lot.
It changed a lot.
Because we have the benefit in Miami having sun all year round. So other states, like they don't have that blessing.
It changed a lot.
But I feel like a lot of kids, they don't have that now.
It changed a lot. And
as soon as they have the time, they get on the tablet.
And to piggyback off that, that's why I created the Pull the Rope Academy, you know, because I wanted to be a sanctuary for kids. You know, I wanted to be a safe place where parents can bring their kids to me. Yeah. They can have fun. They can have a great experience. They learn how to work hard. They learn all the core values that we talked about. They learn how to compete. Yeah. They learn just to play sports, just to be a kid, you know, like, man, when I'm just out there, I have so much joy just being around kids, man. I really feel like this is a God-given ability. And this is my calling. Like, this is my gift to be able to impact young minds, to enrich young minds. So when I'm out there yesterday, you know, I had a group of kids, you know, we're playing with flag football, just watching the kids laugh, have fun, grabbing each other, getting dirty on the ground. Yeah. You know, that's what it's about. Yeah. You know, and I feel like as a world, as a community, we need to create more safe environments where kids can just have fun and play.
And now you're getting into, especially when kids get into like middle school and high school, that's when you start like, my mom always said like a Spanish saying, like boredom creates, it was like something along the lines of like, when you're bored, that's when you start doing bad stuff.
I don't mind.
You know what I'm saying? So if you have somewhere to go after school, you have, even if you don't want to play volleyball, basketball, football, just having some structure, somewhere to go.
I agree.
Excuse me. Somewhere to have fun.
I agree.
That environment that you're creating, that'll make like great young men and women. So when they grow up, they're like, man, I had a great childhood. You know, like I don't have to turn to the streets when I get to high school because of this, that, and the third. Like, no, bro, you have somewhere to go.
Right.
You know, which is like you said, it's a perfect segue. So our last question, you kind of, we'll go more into it now. But what is, if you guys don't know, Coach Key, he runs Pull the Rope Academy, and he also does real coaching, right? So do you want to dive in on one or the other?
Yeah, so real coaching is a slogan that myself and my other two coaches, Coach Campbell and Coach Jackson, you know, we came up with. And before we started coaching youth sports, we were just on the phone talking. And we was like, man, what do we want to bring to youth sports? You know, what do we want to bring to the kids? And I was like, they were like, let's bring some real coaching. And I was like, I like that. We're going to use that as our slogan. Yeah. So we got a little backlash because of that, you know, then it kind of sparked the fire when other coaches like, oh, you guys are real coaches. You guys think that you guys are better than us? You guys, I'm like, bro, it's not even about you guys.
At all.
We're just saying that we're bringing real coaching to the kids. We're not saying that other coaches are not great because there are amazing coaches out here. Yeah. A coach impacted my life, and that was real coaching because he was teaching more than just sports. Mm-hmm. He taught me how to be a man. I don't know my dad. I never met my dad before. You know, so for another guy to come in my life to teach me core values of the world and how to use them as a tool, that's real coaching. Yeah. And I feel like coaches, they deal more with the kids than the parents. The parents are around the coaches more. Yeah. Even when you get to college. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't even see mom and dad anymore until probably twice a year. Yeah. So real coaching is about not winning games. And I got backlash for that. Well, coach, you mean to tell me that you're going to tell a parent that you guys not going to win a football game?
Why are you so extreme?
What parent want their kid in a program that doesn't care about winning? And I said, what define winning? Winning a football game or a kid winning in life? Showing a kid how to work hard, how to compete. A kid, you don't define a kid by winning a football game. Maybe a kid couldn't catch a ball. But when he got to my program, in the middle of the season, the kid is catching the ball. Kid didn't know how to make a tackle. But the kid got in the middle of my program, the kid started making tackles. You know how many phone calls and text messages I get from parents? Coach, thank you so much for building my son confidence. My son is walking around the house different. My son is being better at school. My son is learning how to be a leader. So those are things that make me proud. Yeah. Not winning a football game. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that scoreboard turns off. Yep. Some of the kids don't even know if they won or lost if they're at a certain age. Yeah. So why do people care so much about winning? I feel like real coaching is about making sure kids become better than you found them. That's what real coaching is. And I'm not just, I'm the only real coach. No, every park should be real coaches. Yep. We all should be speaking the same language to these kids. Everyone, even when you're training these kids, you should be teaching them how to work hard. We should work together. Yep. I have a lot of parents that are on my team that their kids train with you. Yeah. And they tell me all the time, Coach Lewis is amazing. Coach Lewis runs the program just like you. Coach Lewis says that you need to work on this and that with them. Okay. You know, we're all together. Pull the rope as a team. We're all together to help kids. Yeah. You know, so that's what real coaching is about.
And like you said, like a team, like the saying, it takes a village. That is the realest. Like, I know it's very simple, very small.
But that's the realest.
Yeah.
If we're going to be involved in kids' lives. But now, I never knew until I got in the coaching role that it's very competitive where a coach feels like if you're a coach, you think you're better than me. So we're not going to talk. I don't want to be around you because I want to make sure that I'm the best coach in the world. But it shouldn't be that way, bro. No. As long as we're edifying these kids and making these kids better, that's what we are here for. You know, we don't get paid $1 million for this.
Right.
We know we don't. Like, I'm a teacher. Yeah. I'm a PE teacher. And I teach preschool and elementary. I know that I'm not going to become a millionaire being a teacher. But I'm doing it because I feel like God called me to edify these kids and make sure that these kids are better. Because you know why? Because someone did it for me. Yeah. Someone made me a better person. So that's why I'm here, picking up the slack. And I want to make these kids a better person. I want these kids to know when they left them, wow, Coach Keyon really made a positive impact in my life.
And you know what sets coaches like yourself apart from other coaches? Like, let's say a kid needs to move parks. They can still call you. Yes. They can still come back to you. Yes. Some coaches get butthurt and they're like, oh, you left our team? You don't exist to me anymore.
Exactly.
No, man.
It shouldn't be that way. I have parents now. A lot of parents call me, Coach, I'm thinking about bringing my kid to this park, that park. What do you think about it, Coach? Right. What part do you think is best for my kid? And I give parents advice. Yeah. It's like,
you know how many coaches would say F off because you're not with me?
Man, listen, I want the best for your child. Mm-hmm. I want the best for your child. My starting quarterback for my tackle football team, he won't be with me this next year. Mm-hmm. And the mom knew that and dad knew that. So we was talking about it. But he was a little sad to even tell me. I gave him a hug and I told him, listen, don't worry about it. I'm going to show up to every of your game. I want you to be the best that you can be. And wherever you go, you're going to represent. Yeah. And that's how it should be. These are kids.
Yeah, but it's not, man. Mm-hmm. And I can relate a lot to what you're saying with trainers. For example, with 31 Vision, like we host free workouts, right? Right. You know how many trainers, like I know, 0 referrals to 31 Vision. Why?
Because they're afraid.
I can't speak for them, but in 7 years, if we don't get referrals from certain trainers, because you're scared of me poaching your clients, it's not about that, bro. Like it's for free, bro. Like
I agree.
Bro, Miami's ginormous. Like there's millions of people here. Like the business that you make and this trainer makes and that trainer makes, I am not worried about stealing your clients,
exactly.
Bro. Like there's a saying in Spanish, lo que está para ti, nadie te lo quita. So what's for you, no one can take it away. I'm not worried about taking your clients, bro. It's about, like, don't you want your kid to get a free workout?
I agree. And especially if you know that you're good at what you do, why you're afraid of losing anything. Like, I know that I am a great coach. I know that when a kid comes into my program, they leave better than I found them. So I'm not worried if a kid goes to another coach for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't have to be as competitive. Like, I don't understand. Like, again, I don't understand why guys are like that.
I think it's more like people feel threatened, you know what I'm saying? But like, just like coaching and trainers, you can always learn something from, perfect example, someone signing up for my online training. Just today I had this conversation and they go, hey, can I send you this program that I bought? Any other person would have been like, what do I need another program for? I know what I need to know. You know what I told them? I go, hey man, send it over. I can learn, if I learn one thing from this 14-week program that you just bought, that's a win. Like, I'm not so into myself that I'm like, no, I don't need to learn anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Iron sharpens iron, man.
And to be honest, like when I saw the program, I was like, it's very similar to what I do. I didn't learn anything, but he saw that I'm not arrogant. I'm not like, oh, no, that program's trash. I didn't even look at it. How would I know it's trash? You know what I'm saying? So like you said, iron sharpens iron, bro. Like there's nothing wrong with coaches collaborating on stuff or trainers collaborating on stuff. Like Miami's huge, bro. Don't worry about that.
It's huge, man. And it's just sad that a lot people want you to do good, but not better than them. And that's a huge mentality.
That's so real
to have that. It's awful. Yeah. Like, bro, we're in this together, bro. Especially if we're working with kids, bro. Yeah. We're all in this together. There should be no shade. No one should hate each other. Yeah. Like, if you're in it for the right reasons. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not in it for the bragging rights. Like, I'm in it because I have a son. And I want my son to see me doing great things in a universe where my son can say, wow, I saw how my dad made that kid feel impacted. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about.
Just set that bar high, man. And that's what you're doing for him, bro. Really,
I agree.
As a man, not just football, just in general.
I completely agree.
And so what is your goal? Like, do you have like an end goal for pull the rope or real coaching? Or
man, my goal is to be able to impact as many kids and families that I can, man.
Okay. Do you want like a location? You want like a center?
Not really a location, just I want to be all over. And okay. lot of people ask, Coach, how come you don't be a high school head coach? How come you don't try colleges and things like that?
Mhm.
And again, I just feel that God placed me in this earth to really connect with kids, to really impact kids. I don't want to deal with older kids. I like developing young minds, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel that if you can get the kids at an early age, you get them on the right track, we can make the world a better place. Why do you think when guys get older, they become all this crazy stuff happening on the news? Like, if we can stop it at a young age, when they get older, we can make the world a better place.
Man, I had a very similar talk with somebody on the phone yesterday, and because he's a trainer as well, and he goes, Lou, like, how come you coach so I can't do it. He goes, how do you coach so many kids, bro? Like, they're all like, what, elementary? I'm like, yeah, but I love it. And then what I explained to him was, look, listen, with kids, they always tell you what they're thinking. Like, you don't have to worry about adults like deciphering stuff, bro. They're going to tell you exactly what they're thinking. One, so communication is pretty easy. Will they listen? I don't know, but communication is easy. And two, what you just said, if I start them from like around first grade or whenever they want to start, and you set a really good foundation, like just as people or with football, like that's going to help them flourish forever. But if you catch them in middle school or high school, you have to like unteach bad habits and change stuff and like deal with character flaws. But if you have them a little younger, not that they don't have flaws, but
I agree.
You know, like I prefer it personally.
And that's the reward, man.
Yeah. Like, it feels good, man.
One of the biggest rewards that I got from a kid, and it's bigger than winning the Super Bowl. A parent sent me a video, a kid that goes to Gulliver, who I coached in 6th grade. He just graduated high school. He's going to graduate this year and go off to college to play football. The kid said in front of everyone, the reason why he started playing football was because of me. Oh, now, and that just did something to me bigger than just winning the Super Bowl. Where like I impacted someone's life, I changed someone's life for the better.
Yeah,
and that meant the world to me. And as coaches, that's what we should be aiming for. Yeah. How can we change a kid's life? You know, like winning and losing come a dime a dozen. Like, we can go win football games, we can go get a stacked team and win games, but like, are we making these kids better? Are these kids becoming better from just winning football games? I know a lot of guys that I was in high school with. Guys won state championship at Booker T, Northwestern. You see them now? They're doing nothing.
Right.
The coaches didn't teach them anything. Yep. Yeah, they won a state championship. They was national ranked. But now, they're doing nothing with their lives, man.
Yeah.
And
you just stop there.
So what do we do as a coach for them? Yeah, we won a state championship. But now, 10 years from now, when they're supposed to have a family doing great things, what are they doing down the line? And as a coach, you should want to be a great role model. So how can I try to be a role model to kids and tell kids to do the right thing when I'm not doing the right thing? When I'm doing drugs and my pants are hanging down and I'm yelling at kids and I'm not a great dad or a father to my family, but I'm out here trying to coach kids. And you see that a lot in today's world.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, man. Like, you go to these different parks and
you know
guys are just...
You know what that is though, bro? It's what you said. People didn't catch them early enough. So history repeats itself, right? So if you're surrounded by a certain environment, it's really hard to be different in that environment. You know what I'm saying? But if you're surrounded by someone like yourself in that, and then someone to show you like, look, this is a better way. Like, you can do it like this. I understand that you're surrounded by this, but you can do it like this. But if someone doesn't show you that door, you think, this is all I got. This is all there is. You know what I'm saying? And as big as Miami is, some people live in one little bubble.
I agree.
You know? And
I agree.
They don't understand that, like, beyond that point of where you're at, there's way better stuff. You know? Way
better stuff.
But that goes back to like what you said, like your environment, you know, like the people around you. So if you're seeing that, you're going to be that.
Right.
You're going to act like that.
And my biggest life-changing event is when I went to Gulliver. You know, I went to South Miami with you. Right. I think I was in 9th grade. You was a senior.
Yeah.
But man, what really changed my life is going to Gulliver. And that changed my life because, again, I got to be in a different environment. Yep. I got to see the world from a better view. Yeah. There's two sides of the world. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, you can be in poverty, but you can get out of poverty. Mm-hmm. And I started going to Gulliver, sleeping over my teammate's house, seeing different things. And I was like, I want that. Yeah. I want to be like that. How can I be like that? Okay, working hard, going to school, doing the right thing. I can get these things. Mm-hmm. It motivated me to another level where, like, I want that for more kids. I don't want kids being in a bubble. I don't want kids just seeing this side of the world. No, I want you to see different sides of the world. That's why I get a lot of kids in my program, man. I bring them to different parks, bring them to different leagues, because I want them to build that connection. I want them to see different things, not just, okay, I'm just going to play for this park. And because I come from here, I got to play for here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm from South Miami, born and raised.
Yeah.
I had to stay at South Miami my whole life because I come from South Miami. No.
For what? Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but a lot
100%.
of people feel that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from this neighborhood, so I'm going to go to school here because I'm from here. No, bro. Like,
It's about elevating.
Exactly. If you can go to another school to better yourself, if you can go to another park to better yourself, this park may have connections that this other park don't have. And you're not going to go there because I'm from here. No. Do what's best for your kids. You know how many parents that I contact and I say, I think you should go to this park because this park has a lot of resources for your child. No, I'm from this area. We're going to stay from this area because, you know, this is what it's about. Or I have a coach that I'll be like, hey, coach, they have a job opening over here. I think you should, I'm going to stay coaching over here because I'm from here and I want to build this community up. Like, bro, you can still build a community up, but take the kids somewhere else where they can see different things.
And to piggyback off that before we finish, a lot of just people in general, not just parents, not just coworkers, whatever, they put like an evil spin. They demonize success. Right. So if you're not successful in a specific category, whether it's finances, whatever things that you own, you're like, oh, F that person. Oh, look, they got this stuff. They think they're better than me. No, like you said, if you see that, you surround yourself with that. You're like, all right, what do I need to get to there? What steps do I, and like how you said, I need to work hard. I need to study. I need to do this. I need to do that. That's a great way to hardwire your brain because a lot of people think, oh, either they think I will never get there. Like, oh, that's so far fetched, or they put like a little evil twist to that person's success. No, bro, like you can be just like them, but it just takes a certain number of steps.
I agree.
You know, so you instilling that, those values into the kids, that's what we want, bro. That's what it's all about, man. So before we finish, man, do you want to leave anything with the kids? Anybody watching?
Anybody watching, man. I want you to follow Lewis' page. I think it's Psycho. What is it? SICO.
SICO.
SICO, man. One of the best trainers, man. I played with Lewis. He knows his stuff. Lewis knows a lot of great things about football, man. So if you have a kid that's interested in sports, want to play sports, I really encourage you all to follow his page, man. He's a great guy, man. And yeah.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that for you, man. Guys, check out Pull the Rope Academy and Real Coaching. And yeah, man, if you have any questions, just shoot them through. Thanks for watching.